Hello, you, and welcome back to Whispers After 50. I'm Susan, and today I'm sharing a chapter of my life that tackles a kind of change many of us might face, moving somewhere completely different, especially later in life. For 70 years, my world was defined by the gentle hum of cicadas, the scent of fresh-cut hay, and the comfort of knowing every face in town. Life was predictable, peaceful. But at 72, an unexpected twist landed me right in the heart of a bustling, noisy big city. I thought I'd feel completely lost, swallowed whole by the concrete jungle, battling constant sensory overload and yearning for my old, quiet life. My biggest worry wasn't just the noise, but the fear of disappearing in a place where no one knew my name. Have you ever faced a drastic change in your environment, feeling overwhelmed by a new, unfamiliar world that moves at a dizzying pace? That sense of being an outsider, trying to find your footing. This isn't just my story of urban shock. It's an honest look at how one lifelong countrywoman, me, decided to face her fears and learn to dance to a new beat. I'm going to be completely open about the hilarious mishaps, the moments of sheer frustration, and the incredible new joys and connections I discovered in a place I once thought I'd never belong. My hope is that my journey can offer you some insight and perhaps inspire you to embrace change even when it feels overwhelming. Let's talk about finding our rhythm no matter where life takes us. For decades, my daily rhythm was set by the sun and the seasons. My alarm clock was the rooster next door, and my news came from the gossip at the general store. My biggest traffic jam was a tractor on the dirt road. My life revolved around gardening, baking for church fairs, and leisurely visits with neighbors who were more like family. Moving to the city felt like stepping onto another planet. The reason for the move was simple. My son Mark worried about me living so far away alone. He found me a lovely apartment, bright and modern, right in the city center. It was practical, sensible, but to me, it felt utterly alien. No porch swing, no sprawling garden, just towering buildings and the constant roar of traffic. The first few months were a blur of sensory overload. The sirens, the incessant honking, the endless stream of people rushing past. It was overwhelming. I felt constantly on edge, my nerves frayed by the sheer volume of new stimuli. I felt incredibly disoriented. Crossing the street became an Olympic event. Finding simple things like a quiet grocery store or a park that wasn't packed with people felt impossible. My comfortable routines vanished. My social circle, which had been so tight-knit, was now hundreds of miles away. Phone calls with old friends helped, but they couldn't fill the void of everyday companionship. I missed the casual wave from a passing neighbor, the impromptu chat over the garden fence. The silence in my new apartment when the city noise finally faded felt ironically louder than any rural night. My biggest red flag wasn't the city itself, but my own stubborn resistance and the fear of looking like a clueless country bumpkin. I'd wander around feeling bewildered, afraid to ask for directions, preferring to get lost rather than admit I didn't understand the subway map. I'd cling to my apartment using online delivery for everything rather than brave the crowded shops. I rationalized my avoidance by telling myself, it's too noisy. People here are too busy. I'm just not a city person. This internal dialogue, this self-imposed isolation, was far more limiting than any real urban obstacle. It was a constant battle between my desire for comfort and my need for connection. I remember one particularly low point. It was a beautiful spring day, but I was stuck indoors. I watched from my window as streams of people walked past, laughing, chatting, seemingly so connected. I felt a profound sense of loneliness, a deep pang of longing for my old life. I tried to call an old friend, but she was busy, and I just hung up, tears welling in my eyes. I missed the effortless camaraderie, the feeling of belonging. I felt like an invisible spectator in a bustling play. It was a chilling realization, almost a silent lament. My refusal to adapt was keeping me from truly living. My son Mark, bless his heart, tried to help. He'd take me out, show me around, but he was always busy. He'd suggest things like taking an Uber and I'd just nod, pretending I understood, then find an excuse not to go. I was missing out on his life and my grandkids' lives simply because I was too afraid to step out of my comfort zone, too afraid to learn the new rules of this concrete jungle. The guilt of potentially burdening him, or the fear of making a fool of myself, always won out over my desire for connection. I knew this couldn't be my forever. That moment of watching the city from my window feeling so utterly disconnected was my true turning point. I couldn't let my fear and my longing for the past define my present. I decided then and there that I was going to learn this city, to find my place in it. It wasn't about forgetting my roots. It was about planting new ones. This led to my first incredibly vital lesson. Adaptation isn't about becoming someone else. It's about expanding who you are. I started by tackling one small thing at a time. My son patiently taught me how to use the subway step by step. It was daunting, but with each successful trip, a tiny spark of confidence ignited. I learned that getting lost was part of the process, and that asking for help even from a stranger was okay. My initial fear gradually gave way to a tiny sense of accomplishment with each new journey, each new route I memorized. The city started to feel less like a maze and more like a puzzle I could solve. My second lesson was about actively seeking out my new community in unexpected places. I couldn't expect the old country friendships to magically reappear. I found out our local library offered a senior book club. Hesitantly, I signed up. It was wonderful. The people were diverse from all walks of life and just as eager to connect. We shared stories not just about books, but about our lives. I learned how to use online groups to find local gardening clubs and even found a small community garden plot. This wasn't just about finding hobbies. It was about camaraderie, about realizing I wasn't alone in this massive city. These newfound connections, sparked by shared interests, began to fill the quiet spaces in my heart, weaving a new tapestry of friendship. Third, I learned the importance of embracing the buzz and finding beauty in the unexpected. I started observing the city with a new eye. The vibrant street art, the diverse cultures, the endless array of restaurants, the sheer energy. It was overwhelming at first, but slowly it became exhilarating. I'd sit on a park bench and simply watch people inventing little stories for them in my mind. This shifted my entire mindset from, I have to tolerate this, to, I want to explore this. I discovered a hidden jazz club near my apartment and found myself tapping my feet to the music, something I never imagined doing. The city began to reveal its charming secrets. And finally, the most profound lesson: home isn't just a place. It's where you build connections and find your purpose. For so long, home was my quiet country house. But I learned that I could create a sense of home here in this bustling city by engaging, by connecting, by simply being present. My capacity for growth and adaptation wasn't limited by my age or my past. I learned to forgive myself for my initial stubbornness, to accept that change is a constant, and that true fulfillment comes from continuously engaging with the world, even if it means stepping outside your comfort zone. My journey from the quiet countryside to the city buzz has been truly transformative. I'm not a city slicker, mind you, but I can navigate the subway, find hidden gems, and have vibrant conversations with new friends. There are still times I miss the quiet, of course, but now the city doesn't feel like a monster. It feels like an adventure. I've found a rhythm, a balance, and a renewed sense of purpose and connection that enriches my life immensely. I've realized that this chapter, while unexpected, is a powerful testament to the endless capacity of the human spirit to adapt, to learn, and to thrive, even for someone who once thought herself too tied to her rural roots. So if you're wrestling with a major life change, feeling overwhelmed by a new environment, or convinced you're too old to adapt, know this: you are not alone. And more importantly, you are absolutely capable. My journey taught me that while facing drastic change can feel incredibly daunting, the rewards, the new connections, the expanded world, the sheer pride of adapting, are immeasurable. Remember, adapting doesn't mean you have to forget your past or become someone you're not. It's about finding the tools that serve your new reality, about connecting with people, and about keeping your mind open. It's about embracing new possibilities, even when it feels scary. Take that first step, ask for help. Explore your new surroundings with curiosity. Your next adventure is waiting for you. Have you ever faced a big move or adapted to a completely new environment in later life? What strategies did you find helpful to navigate the change, or what advice would you give to someone who feels too old to adjust? Please share your stories and your wisdom in the comments below. Your insights could truly light the way for someone else and inspire them to find their own rhythm. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Whispers After 50 for more authentic conversations about our life's beautiful journey. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thank you for watching, and always remember, every whisper of experience holds invaluable wisdom.